Hello everybody, this is HG Shaves here. I'm back with the video. Hope this finds you well and in good spirits. So, happy Christmas Eve to everybody. Merry Christmas in advance. I'm very happy to be able to do the shave for you here today. And we're going to be using last year's release by Otter, which was the night before. So if I remember correctly, this was kind of an outsourced scent, if I'm not mistaken. As in somebody besides Otter made the scent for them. And how about this awesome festive label? I think it just looks terrific. Let's talk about some of the scent notes. Pink peppercorn, balsam fir, mistletoe, frankincense and myrrh, vanilla, amber, sandalwood, rosemary. So if you're like me, frankincense and myrrh on its own is a little too intense for you. I think this is a nice way to experience that sort of popular scent accord. And yeah, this is a great Christmas scent. I think I last used it over the summer because sometimes I like to do Christmas things in the summer, if you will. But yeah, we'll be using Otter the night before. And then let's talk about the brush, which can be using this very festive Yaqi Rainbow 26mm synthetic. And then we'll be using the matching night before splash. And then I'm very excited to show you this razor, the WR3. So made by Wolfman. This is their new gem style razor. This is a prototype version of the razor. There have since been a couple minor changes made to it, but this was on pass around for a while, and I'm glad it's back in my possession now, and I'm looking forward to using it once again. So this is the Darwin handle, and some of us think that when it's assembled like this, it sort of looks like that droid in Star Wars, if you know what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and assemble the razor. So it's 3-piece, and the handle pops off, not surprisingly. And then it's a typical cap and base plate situation. Here's what the inside the top cap looks like. And then here's the base plate. It has this little nub here in the middle, which is where you put your gem blade, of course. So let's grab the blade. This has like 5 uses on it maybe. And it can be a little strange to assemble this, but I think they've made it a little bit easier with the new version of the razor because they made that nub in the center a little bit more substantial. So it should be a little bit easier to line it up, but it appears that I got it right on the first go here, which is great. This is a very mild gap. This is like 0.23 millimeters of a gap, which I'm sure you're like me, you've never heard of a razor that has that small of a gap. But when I used this however many months ago in sort of a tester period, I really, really liked it. It has a good amount of exposure, which is kind of hard to tell because of the mild gap, but you can kind of see how there's some blade sticking out. And so with that low gap and that slightly higher than normal exposure, I found that it really provides a smooth yet efficient shave. So let's go ahead and dig into this, shall we? So I'm gonna wet my face and then we'll wet the brush through and we'll start getting going here with the lather. This is, I've got 3 days growth, which is a little bit more than usual. And the thing I remember with the Otter base, their old version of the base and even the current one, is that it likes a good amount of water and it likes a heavy load. So we're going to do our best to do a heavy load but also add some water. So it's starting to dry up on us instantly, so let's add a little bit of water to that. And since it is Christmas Eve, I would love to know everybody's plans or what you used to do when you were a kid with your family. We never really had a consistent thing that we did for the holidays, which sort of kept it interesting, I guess, because you never knew quite what we were going to do in a given year. We didn't have much family that lived nearby us, and so that was a big part of the reason why. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you're doing for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. When do you open presents? I know some people like to do that the night before because maybe the kids are just so excited that they can't wait until Christmas Day to open them. But yeah, let me know what you got going on. Okay, I think that's going to be a good start. Let's add a little bit of water to the top of the brush And then let's get into it here, all right? I think this is pretty inoffensive Christmas scent. It's Christmas Eve by Sterling was one that I really wanted to like, but it just didn't quite do it for me. It smelled a little bit too much like a candle rather than some sort of other take on Christmas scents. And so that's something that I would say the night before here has going for it. Is that, yeah, it's got a little bit more complexity, depth to it than some of those more kind of basic Christmas scents. I'm trying to think of some other ones off the top of my head here that are popular, and not a ton are coming to mind. And as you can see here, it's starting to get a little bit of sheen on it, but we still need a lot of water because I haven't used that puck in so long. It's gonna, be a bit more of a dry initial kind of proto lather compared to something that you use every day, and if you let it out of the tub, it's going to get some water in there. But starting to get some sheen and thin out just a little bit here. There's really nothing to it except adding more water, right? So I'm going to keep doing that, and then I'll bring it back here when I'm about to start my first pass in just a second. Okay, we're back, and this was our first pass result, and let's go with the WR3. Like with most gem style razors, you kind of want to ride it as flat against your skin as you can, and this seems to be like I got the right angle here. This razor is super smooth, but as you'll see in a minute, it takes down the hair as well. This is something I've discussed on the channel before, but I started thinking about it more as of late. So, in my opinion, these kinds of razors, right, where they're smooth yet quite efficient, these kinds of razors are the ones that I think really shine in this modern safety razor world. And I think that really is one of the advantages of all the new technology that we have in terms of making razors now compared to back in the day. And so I'm not always crazy about razors that feel like this, but I think this is, again, just a wonderful use of kind of new razor technology, if you will. This razor is, the blade is held very, very well. And I imagine that's part of the reason why it feels so smooth. I think this has a wonderful cutting sound as well. Hopefully you can hear that here on the video. got a wonderful whiff of vanilla from the soap. That was very pleasant. So I'll rinse and then come back and lather up for pass number 2. Just a moment. Here's pass number 2 with the Yaqi synthetic and Noble Otter night before. Let's do pass number 2 across the grain, mostly here with the WR3. If I seem a little off today, a little funny, unfortunately I tested positive for COVID today, and I'm a little bit relieved, frankly. Throughout this whole pandemic, I had never had it before, and I was potentially going to have to make a difficult decision. Actually, today I had to make this decision. I started feeling a little odd, not so good, a couple of days ago, and I wondered what it was. Anyway, of course I'm upset that I can't take my planned trip, but I'm also glad that I know what I have, and of course that I'm not going to pass it along to anybody that I was going to see on this trip. So, fortunately I still have my taste and smell and everything, so I figured, and I feel kind of okay at the moment, so I thought, well, let's try to make this video for Christmas Eve. Still just amazed at how this thing mows through hair. In terms of the cutting sensation alone, this is my favorite gem. I can understand if people aren't interested in it because of the look or because of the price potentially, but in terms of just how it functions, this is the best gem I've ever used. So I think it's great that James is making this, and offering something a little different to the public, right? So that's amazing. After just 2 passes, it already feels like a very close shave. But of course, this is a shaving channel, so let's go in and let's do a third pass. So I'm gonna rinse and come back in just a second. Use the third and final pass. Here's the final third pass against the grain with the WR3. Like I was saying, I think it's great that Wolfman is offering this different razor design at the moment. Because honestly, for somebody like me, I do kind of get sick of the razor after razor that's just a stainless double edge kind of thing. Of course, there's nothing wrong with those razors, but I do get a little bored of them after a while. So this one's nice because I thought that I wouldn't enjoy it as much as my vintage gems, but like I said, in terms of just how it cuts, this one is my favorite. The Darwin handle is an interesting shape, and I think sometimes people wonder if it's more artsy than it is like functional, but I found it just takes a little used to, but it doesn't lack any function, is what I'm saying. It's definitely a handle I'd like to try on some other razors as well. Maybe some stainless heads, you know, see how the handle functions with something else. Again, just love how securely held the blade is. Of course, we're getting less audio feedback now that most of the hair's been cut already. I must say that it's surprisingly quiet out there today. I remember the last video I did, it was there's quite a bit of stuff going on at the time of shooting it, but it makes sense that people might be taking it easy on Christmas Eve, right? Just doing a couple touch-ups. Good. Fantastic shave. Glad I picked this one out. Going to do my final rinse and then come back and talk to you over post-shave in just a moment. Okay, I'm very pleased with the end result. Some of these little spots you might see, I think, are really from previous shaves in the week. And then let's use the matching the night before splash. Very excited. Noble Otter's splash formula is my absolute favorite in the game. If you haven't tried it yet, you owe yourself to do so. You owe it to yourself to do so. There we go. And let's see how the skin takes to it today. It's a little bit of burn, but very quickly it goes away. And man, I can really smell the frankincense and myrrh at the moment. So that's been nice about this scent. I could smell the vanilla very prominently at one point during the shave, and now the frankincense and myrrh. Woo! Yeah, definitely smells like Christmas here, so we're happy about that. Let's do a final rundown here. We used the night before splash and soap. We used the Yaqi Rainbow Synthetic just because it's festive. That's the only real reason why. And then we used the return of the Wolfman WR3. I forgot to mention too that he's making copper, bronze, and titanium razors as well, I believe, for all the models WR1, 2, and 3. So if that interests you, go check it out. I'll try to remember to leave a link to Noble Otter and Wolfman's site down below. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas in advance. And who knows when the next video will be here, hoping I can recover quickly from this virus and be a little bit more festive with you on camera here. So thank you all so much if you made it this far. This has been HG Shaves. Take care, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.